Good evening and welcome to the Haunted Antiques Paranormal Research Centre channel. And tonight's guest is Damon. How are you doing?
Hi guys, how you doing?
So I thought I'd chat to Demonologist and also a fellow presenter of the channel.
Yep.
And let's find out all about him then.
Yeah, well, it's a deep hole. I hope you're ready for this one.
Oh yeah, come on then, let's go for it. So what were you first, did you know about ghosts? What were your first, signs that something else was around, or your first paranormal encounters, etc.?
Well, my first encounter I can remember, I think I was about 5, 6 years old, and I remember hearing something out. I lived in a massive block of flats, and it had a really long hallway, and I remember I can hear like a sound of someone walking along, and I thought, oh, it's my mum. So I'm gonna go. I need a glass of water. I think it's about 1, 2 in the morning. I can't remember like exact times. So I run outside my bedroom because I shared it with my brother at the time. I run outside my bedroom and run up to this woman that's walking down the hallway, and I can see she's a woman. I was like, "What, mum? Why are you wearing Victorian clothes?" And when she turned round, she actually had her head under her arm, and that was
Oh,
it. Yeah, that was it. That was my first experience. I went and see a few psychologists and people that deal with children that have high imaginations and stuff like that. But you know what I
yeah.
mean? Just have that longing, that feeling that there's something else out there, but you just can't put your hand on it. And then I turned 15, 16, and I was out freelancing, going out paranormal teams at the time. I thought I could do this. So I started Truth's Paranormal Investigation Team 13, 14 years ago now.
Wow.
And yeah, it was a family-run business. Not big. Well, it wasn't a business. We didn't make any money whatsoever. We literally done it because we like going to stand in the dark and talk to nobody. Really, that was the main reason we
That's the
done
one, isn't it?
it. Yeah, but yeah, started Truth's Paranormal up. We've done some absolutely amazing location. The Hellfire Club in Dublin. We've been to Queensmary Close. We've been to Drakelow Tunnels. Um, all over England, all over like the UK. We've been to Ireland, been to Wales. We've done Craigie Noss in Wales as well, which was another really good one.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
yeah, and then I was at Harwich Redoubt Fort. I think it must have been about 3 or 4 years into investigating. And I don't know if you know Harwich Redoubt Fort. It's a big hexagonal shaped old World War II fort in Harwich. It was built as it was built along the Thames in case the Nazis invaded. And so inside this fort, they've got 3 prison cells. So I drew straws. I got the short straw. I had to go and spend an hour on my own in this prison cell. No natural light, no torch, just me and a camera. So I'm sitting in there and I can see these green eyes coming down from the ceiling and this
Wow.
weird, like deep guttural sort of growl. And it walked, and people are going to go like, this guy's psycho, but it was walking from the ceiling down the wall. And that was my first experience where I actually decided, that's it, I'm going to study demonology and get into this side of things.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Mm.
That's cool but unnerving at the same time.
It was really freaky. I mean, for somebody, I've been investigating for about 5 or 6 years at that time. Never come across anything like that. I've done negative entities, but never come across things like that. And it really did scare me. But it didn't scare me in the sense of put me off. It made me want to dig that a little bit deeper and find out
Yeah.
what it was. You know, it got me. So that was it. That's what got me into demonology.
I had a similar thing happen, which was really random. I was scared to death, but that was it. It got me hooked
Mm.
on paranormal, and these things just come along, don't they? And that's it.
Yeah,
You just hooked. And right, a
yeah.
quick hello then to Donna French, Denise Braley Blood, Wendy Williams, Pete Foxtrot Oscar, Tracy Jean Spence, Annette Locke. Hi everyone. I hope you're okay. So we've got Damon, Demonologist, on tonight. So if you've got any questions about Damon specifically, or about a subject of demonology,
Yeah,
go for it, and then I will try and ask the questions as we go along.
yeah.
So, like when you had that first encounter, then going back to when you're 5 years old,
Mm.
did you told your parents then, and then they sort of
Yeah.
took that approach?
My mum's always been very spiritual. Um, she's a fully trained Ouija board expert and
Wow.
psychic medium. My dad is the world's greatest skeptic. Is absolutely fantastic. He was part of the team, but he was the skeptic who was taken along. And one time he actually got pushed over, and his idea was that when he stood up, he went, "Kind of windy in here, isn't it?"
I love that.
He's the world's greatest skeptic. So yeah, I told my mum, but my mum was like, she's sort of like, maybe you've got an overactive imagination, so I had to go and speak to people and find out, like, just in case I've got an imaginary friend, like Drop Dead Fred, you know how it goes.
Yeah, so, that's it.
But
it's
yeah, I told my parents.
ways,
Yeah,
because your mum did know that side existed. But
yeah. She got into boards a bit further later. She has an original 1934 Hasbro Ouija, one of 100 that were first produced, and it cost me an absolute bomb to get it for her, but it was the weirdest Christmas present I've ever bought in my life.
Oh wow, I bet. Yeah. That is absolutely awesome though.
Yeah.
I may have seen one of those because I've met a lady who deals with Ouija, and she's got some amazing boards. But yeah, it's just fantastic, when you had your team and stuff. So when you sort of looked into demonology, how did you start?
I've always been heavily into conspiracy theories, and this is where it sort of emerged as one. I am conspiracy theory mad. I listen to podcasts. I watch all that 9/11 loose change, and I listen to a guy called Isaac Weishaupt, or who's the other guy that I listen to? Sam Tripoli is another American guy that I listen to. So I was always heavily into conspiracies, and one of the guys that I used to sort of speak to, he was part of GC UK, which is another team that I was sort of partially running at the same time when I was doing Truths. He put me onto the Book of Enoch, which is the forbidden book that was written by Noah's grandfather, that was outlawed during the Council of Nicaea by Emperor Constantine I, because it painted Jesus in the light as man, not divine.
Wow,
so I read that, completely hooked. I've met, and then I've just basically, I'm a massive believer that knowledge is passed through storytelling. It's the oldest way of passing knowledge is storytelling. So along my journey in the last 9 years when I've been doing demonology, I've met like loads of people along the way. There's a couple that stand out. I mean, Ben Winfield, like my brother from another mother. The guy's a legend. Yeah, he really is. He's a really cool guy. Me and him get along like house on fire. He's taught me so much as well along the way. But yeah, it's just, I've just got into it through storytelling and learning off of people, and reading the most craziest abstract bits of literature you can imagine. Like the Voynich's manuscript is, so I had to read it 4 times just to actually understand what it was saying. So it's just crazy.
Yeah, I like things which are a challenge though.
And
you'll never know the answer.
I mean, I was talking about my partner earlier. She said, like, she was like, I can't keep up with all this because I've got a case at the moment I'm dealing with, which is to do with astral projection, and somebody's astraling out and trying to keep them grounded and on the real world and that. And she's like, I can't keep up with it all. It's mad. I said, yeah, that's why we all sort of specialize in one field. You have investigators, you have healers, you have mediums, and that's. She said, well, what do you specialize in? I was like, well, obviously, it's written on my top. You know.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a brilliant field though. So when you did the events, did many go? What was it? Was it a public event or private?
We started off doing private hauntings, going to private residencies and dealing with that. Crazy stories from doing that. That opened my eyes up big time. I was where was I once? I think I was out in Kent somewhere, in a place called Bilsington. There's a big mansion out there, and we was doing this private investigation, and we was doing the initial walk around, find out what's been going on and that. And all the team were upstairs. The owner was upstairs. Front door was closed. Back doors were locked. And we just heard this boom, 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 downstairs, and we're like, "What the hell is that?" I come downstairs, and this woman had, because she was pretty mega rich, she had like an 8-chair dining room table, and each chair had been stacked from floor and wedged under the ceiling up. And it was like, wow, okay, this is proper goosebumps moment, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, we started off doing these private investigations, and then we sort of moved on to more public events. We was one of them teams, if we didn't have to charge, we wouldn't. The only way we would charge was if we had overheads to cover ourselves, because we used to supply cakes and buffets and coffees, or we can drink coffees and stuff. Because it was more for my team when I was running it. It was more about making people aware of the paranormal more than it's a business, because it's not. You know, we're there to prove the existence of spirit, which we all know is true. But these people who are coming along are dabbling in it, but we're there to keep them safe almost.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because not everyone goes to the first one, and you don't know what to expect. You might laugh a bit, you might think it's silly, but then, for something can happen, and it's mad, isn't it?
Our first one was amazing. We done Kelvin Hatch secret nuclear bunker.
Oh, awesome.
That was our first investigation, and that was amazing. That really was. We was in the Winston Churchill room. We was having chairs pushed around. We had apparitions caught in the laser beams, the multi-dot laser beam pens that we had. We had motion sensors going. People. One couple left halfway through. They was like, "It's too scary for us. We're going home." Like, it's like, well, we've done our job properly, so that's fine with us.
Yeah.
So
because a lot of events you just go on and not a lot happens because you seem to be highly protected.
Yeah, and I think. So I used to get in trouble a lot from the mediums in my team, because when you all used to get together at the beginning, you go bright white light, roots going down and all this sort. I would bugger off. I was always interested in that negative side, so I wanted things to happen to me, so I wouldn't protect myself. And I learned a very, very bad lesson from that. I was at Pluckley Screaming Woods, which is in Essex, and I tranced out. What felt like me was like 2 or 3 minutes. But when I come round, it turned out that I was down for an hour and 45 minutes, and they were chasing me around this forest trying to get me. And so after that, I preach a lot of protection now when people are doing paranormal investigation. I think it's something that people need to take very seriously.
Yeah, I admit that I'm not good on that front a lot of the time. It's one of those, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
A quick shout out to Irene Takura. Thanks for joining us. Van Hunter, Jane Rowley. Hope everyone's all right. If you have any questions about Damon himself or about demonology, just add them to the chat and I'll try and answer them.
Don't give Jane the free roam to ask me questions. Don't do that.
Exactly. Jane, have you got a really complex question?
she pulls them out of nowhere. It'll just come out there and it's done. It's like
yeah, awesome. So how would you do protection then? Because people have different ways.
I don't, if I'm honest. I learned my lesson from while I was investigating, but now I think opening my eyes up to the world of demonology and negative entities and trans-dimensional phenomena, it's changed the way that I investigate. It's changed the way that I approach things. I don't protect myself. I've got this, like, I don't know if you can see it, but I've got this little necklace. It's a cross with it's got the circle of life on it, and I've got 2 witches' rings on there.
Okay.
And that's literally all I have for protection. That was blessed by an archbishop for me about 3 or 4 years ago, and that's literally the only protection I use now, because I feel that if I'm with the cases that I deal with, if I'm protected, then I'm not going to experience what the client's experiencing. I'm not going to experience the feelings or the emotions or the phenomena that they're going through. And I like to be on a level with the people that come to me for help. I like to be able to see things from their point of view. I think it's the only fair way of doing things. I mean, if I go out investigation now with a team, I will join in with the group protection and that sort of thing. But from a demonology, even slightly occultology sort of view, I just have my necklace and that's it. I'm happy with that.
That's fantastic. So what are your first plans after lockdown then? Got any
I'm
plans?
gonna get my vaccine passport first, and then I'm gonna go down the pub.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I've got some cool things in the works. A lot of my work that I do is consulting, so it's all sort of been it's always been done through the internet, so nothing's really changed over the COVID. But I've been invited to a few investigations, which I'll probably go along and sort of deal with that. I've been invited to Jedburgh Castle in Ireland to experience the fire elemental that it lives in one of the towers over there. So I'm hoping to be able to go and do that actually, but it all sort of depends if we can travel or not.
Yeah, that's right. But with with the vaccine passport, then
yeah,
it seems that is the way forward, doesn't it?
It is.
One way or another, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's mad.
Yeah. So, do you call yourself a medium? Do you pick things up sort of mediumistically?
I've had medium training. I've done 2 years learning as a platform medium. I like to experience every part of the paranormal, because when you're dealing with negative and you're dealing with the side that I deal with, if you have a hand at everything that's involved, you sort of it's like a Swiss Army knife. You've got a tool there to help you with everything. So when I first started investigating, I trained as a medium for 2 years as a platform medium. So I've experienced that sort of side, but I wouldn't really call myself a medium.
Right.
I feel things, and I get gut feelings, but I can't sit there and go, right, I've got Auntie Peggy.
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore. That sort of died a long time ago.
Right, okay.
Last time I done a reading was about 9 years ago. So yeah, I wouldn't really call myself a medium.
So when you go to a location, what sort of stuff do you pick up?
The first thing I do is I like to, if I'm going on an investigation, I'll pick up feelings, thoughts, but not specific information. I'll be like, right, and the negative seems to be drawn to me like a moth to a flame. I don't know why. It's always been that way. So I know when I'm sort of being followed by a negative entity or a negative entity is near. If I'm going to investigate something demonic, the first thing I do is ask questions, because that's how we determine what's going on. You have to tick certain boxes to find out what stage they're at, depending if it's stage 1, 2, or 3, infestation, oppression, or possession, to find out if it's just a negative attachment, or it's something like a lower level demon or a mole star, or if you're dealing with something that's in hierarchy, so above that. It's all about the personal experiences of the person that's been experiencing it, more than what you experience when you go in there.
Right, okay.
So then you sort of follow it on from that.
So what's the difference between a negative entity and a demon?
A demon's never really lived on this plane, really. Anything. See, a lot of people get confused by the word demon.
That's right.
As soon as you hear the word demon, you think little red man, pitchfork, and horns. That's the first thing. But it's not. I mean, if you look back thousands and thousands of years ago, demons were actually guardians of humans. They used to look after us. And they were called daemons back then, which I find quite ironic, but there you go.
That's brilliant.
But when they were called daemons, each daemon had a good and a bad thing they used to bring to things. Like if you look at the daemons, Sophia, she used to bring bad luck in childbirth and stillbirths and that. But if you pray to her and that, you would get help getting pregnant. And it's like they used to have the dual roles. It's only since sort of Christianity and Catholicism has sort of moved forward now that we look at demons in a negative light, and we look at them like, like I said, the little red man with the horns and a pitchfork. It's not like that anymore. You've got to look past that. And I mean, a lot of the stuff I use to deal with them is ancient Egyptian rituals or Mesopotamian rituals that were done. It's old school is the best school when it comes to dealing with anything like that. And with your spiritualism as well, old school is the best school.
Yeah.
all these phone-based apps that people are using nowadays. Don't get me wrong, people get some amazing. And I know I have been criticised so badly on my show. I have been absolutely, excuse the pun, demonized on Facebook for having a go at people that use iPhone apps and these app-based. I'm not saying you don't get really good results, but I would happily go out with a recorder, a torch, and a camera, and I'll be well away.
Yeah, a lot of sort of going back to the basics now, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't know really. Last 2 times I've taken loads of equipment and not actually used anything.
Yeah.
Didn't need it, it's all like physical, we're being picked up one by one, all of us, because I went with people with strong energy. It was absolutely crazy, but yeah.
Yeah. And they're almost like magnets. They draw the sort of the entities in, don't they? And it's great when you're working with people like that. I mean, I worked with a medium. Paul Darrell was really, really good. I worked with him. Diana Smith as well. I worked with her. They're just like magnets. They like these spirits was coming. This is when I was an investigator, so I was like, I mean, I remember one experience when we was at Drake Low Tunnels. And have you ever been to Drake Low Tunnels?
Yes.
Yeah. How far do they go back? How far do they go back? It's amazing, isn't it?
It's absolutely awesome. I went there with Guy Fields, and he got something dark, a dark entity, get him in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Kitchen.
That kitchen area looks like they were cooking an omelette, and then someone dropped a nuclear bomb and they legged it. It's crazy. And they got cars in the tunnels as well. It's like, wow.
Oh, I didn't see them when I went.
I think he was the owner. I think he was like using it as his personal little garage, because there was a couple of mercs in there and that. But when we went there, but yeah, we was at Drake Low Tunnels, and we were right at the far end of the South Tunnel, right at the far end, and we had this big burly bloke with us and a couple of other public, and you can hear like this scuttering of feet, like almost like they did sound like rat claws, but they sound like children's feet to me. And we had that going, and Diana Smith, she was picking up on these children entities that are around us, and this big burly bloke, he's sitting there, he's going, nah, what you're saying, load of rubbish, don't believe it. So I was like, right, we'll put some motion sensors down, we'll see if they can set them off. But I put them up a little bit higher, so if it were rats or mice, they would run underneath the beam. So anyway, these motion sensors going off. He's going, nah, I still don't believe it. I was like, because this sounds like a bad joke, but yeah. I said, no. So I said, all right, well, look, you're a big guy. Ask out. Ask if there's any children here, and we'll see what happens. So he went, all right, then I'll do that. Like, obviously, he was showing off for his missus and that. And he went, if there's anybody here, if there's any children here, can you let yourself be known? And exactly that point, we got a voice, and everyone heard in the group, and it went, Mama. And that was it. He run all the way back to the beginning of Drake Low Tunnels, and he would not come in after that. I was like, brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I've seen a skeptic get an experience there. We were all in where all the tunnels met, and he was told to go down one of the tunnels and just wait there. Yeah. And his friend sort of said, punch him or touch him. And he came back down screaming because something had touched him. But I love that when it happens. We got a lovely question from Jane then. I like these questions. So, looking at old books from the Middle Ages, when the first documented information about demons first appear, how many of the demons are still around?
Well, that is actually a really good question. The first documented demons that I've come across are the Anunnaki, the originals, the elders, the ancient ones. And they are still around now. I've been speaking to someone on Facebook who's a descendant of Anunnaki, and it's a progression. Like you have past life regressions and that.
Yeah,
he's had like something like 28 cycles of the soul, and if you take a soul away back, and yeah, they are still around, and a lot of the demons are still around, and the only thing that seems to change, Jane, is the hierarchy in which they're labelled with. A lot of emphasis back in sort of like the Middle Ages, like you're saying, was on Lucifer, the light bearer, or a lot of astrologers know him as Saturn. a lot of emphasis was on him. And then when we went to sort of through the Dark Ages, there was a lot of emphasis on Baal, which was the bull like demon, because there was a lot of sacrifices and that going on in that time. So they've always been around. They don't just sort of disappear. They're the same as angelic beings. They're forever. They're endless. They're ancient. So they'll always be around. I think you get a lot of mimics about, and I think it's like you get a lot of trends about as well, and that's why we forget about these lot of hierarchy ones. Like me and Ben always say that when Conjuring 2 come out and they dealt with the nun demon that was called Valak, the amount of reports that we were getting of people experiencing a phenomena that was associated with Valak because it was a Hollywood movie, and it come to the forefront of it all. So yeah, like to answer Jane's question, that they are about. I think it just runs in trends when it comes to the different names that people bring up.
Do you think ancient civilizations had a greater understanding of demons than present day?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%, because they weren't tainted by the things that we have nowadays: iPhones, laptops, new cars, money. Their mind was more pure. They used to focus on life itself and building up themselves naturally and increasing their knowledge naturally. They didn't have these futuristic gadgets that were they're there to numb the brain, as much as they're allowing me and you to have a chat now and everyone to watch us and to learn from us, which is fantastic, but they do numb the brain. Psychologists have studied, and they put studies out there of the fact that you're supposed to come off your phone an hour before you go to sleep, because your mind, your mindfulness can't turn itself off. It takes an hour to actually calm your mind down before you can actually fall asleep. This is what I mean. With the ancient civilizations, they didn't have the distractions that we did. They could learn the knowledge in a pure form without modern day distractions.
That's right, and they just relied on like the weather, the night, the day, things like that, didn't they?
Yeah, and they were more mystical as well. You know, back with the ancient Babylonians, the Mesopotamians, it was a lot to do with astrology, and we know that astrology's it is a lot to do with occultology, which then rolls into demonology. What's Jane saying?
Sorry, I tried not to laugh at.
Yeah. Oh God.
If you need chicken blood to summon a demon, with the blood from a defrosted chicken suffice.
Oh dear. Yeah, but the problem is with that, Jane, is that as the defrosted chicken, it isn't actually chicken. It's more likely horse.
You get everyone worried now.
Yeah, you never know. It could be pigeon or some sort of feral cat or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, if it's not a whole one, it could be anything, couldn't it? Technically. Oh my God! Oh dear.
Yeah, it's funny. I like that as when they advertise things as whole chicken, when you know for a fact it's about 7 or 8 different bits of chicken all stuck together.
Yeah, that's. Oh gosh, that's awesome. So, what was the place of demons then? Like, they've got the existence.
It depends on the angle you look at it from. Now, a lot of people believe demons are a religious phase. It's a religious fad. They are. There's a lot of mention of them in the Bible. There's a lot of mention of them in, especially jinn, in Arabic teachings. The Jewish religion is absolutely full of them. But if you look at it from a different point of view, in the sense of, if we look at it from religions that people don't know, like the Gnostics religion, which is a complete invert of Christianity and Catholicism in itself. So instead of believing that God was the one to test man and then they went to the higher place, the Gnostics actually believed that God was trapping us here on this prison planet, and it was the serpent that was giving Adam and Eve the apple, when the apple represented knowledge. So he was giving them the knowledge to get themselves out of the prison planet. So God was painted as the bad guy, and the serpent, i.e. Satan, was the good guy. That's the Gnostics religion. And if you look at it from that sense, then you can see where demons play a massive part. And you get into the stories of the Nephilim, which are the 7 foot half demigod beings where the fallen angel come down to lay with mortal women. They started destroying everything and eating man. God weren't happy, so he flooded the world, and that's why Noah built the ark.
Yeah.
So you have to be quite open-minded when it comes to demonology. You have to look at things from so many different angles, and sort of take an open stance to everything, because it all sort of tallies into one. And each demon that you come across, they will have so many different names. It's crazy. Like Satan. It's actually a reference to astrologers see him as Saturn. He's also known as the light bearer. Sophia was also known as I can't remember what her name was now. It'll come to me. It'll come to me soon. There's so many of them.
Wow. But you just can't find this information out anywhere.
You can. You just have to know where to find it. What you have to remember is that before a certain date, there was no such thing as publishing rights. So books that are written back in the 16th, 17th century, you can actually get for free on your phone. You just got to know where to find it. You don't have to pay a penny for them.
Oh wow. So yeah, because I had an issue. I was shown an image one night. You're aware of that, and Ben is like, I woke up from a night, and I had to draw this image, and I googled it, and I just couldn't find any sort of meaning of it because it was demonic.
Yeah.
And it is, from my perspective, hard to find anything.
Yeah.
Certainly not on the main internet.
Yeah, no, it's hard to find that sort of information because we're not supposed to be looking for that sort of information.
That's right.
It's all buried in other information buried around it, so you can't get to the specifics that you need to get to. But the information is out there. I mean, M. Ballinger is a great author that written a dictionary of demons. He's got over 4,289 demons entered on there, what they are, how many legions they control, whether they're hierarchy, whether they're an elemental, or they're a governor of a direction, which is like you have King of the South, King of the North, Queen of the. There's so many, but he's got like over 4,000 entries in there, and that's just had its 10th anniversary as well. He's just released a special 10th anniversary one, and that's by M. Ballinger. You can go and grab that off Amazon. That's available. That's a really good one to read.
I might have a go at something like that because it's a side of spirituality. I just don't know. I don't know anything about it. To me, it's a word, and obviously you've got these little red things with horns.
I tell you what, Jack, a good book to start with is anything written by Conrad Bauer. He's the sort of Joe, the guy that you go to when they just scratch the surface to see if you're interested in it.
Yeah.
He's that guy. If you read a few of his books, you'll know whether you want to get deeply into it. Because once you jump down that rabbit hole, there's no coming up.
Oh no. Yeah, that's it. It's just like, if you do try mediumship and stuff like that, you sort of go down that route, and then you sort of get more and more into it. And like with paranormal as well, you get more and more questions as you go along your journey.
Yeah.
And if you do step that way, then it's just your mind is just gonna go mad with more and more questions, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. It really does.
So we've got a question here from Jane. We hear of demons controlling legions of demons. How many demons are in a legion?
9.
Wow.
So if it says 494 legions, that's 494 times 9.
Oh gosh, right, okay.
So yeah, that's from what I know. There are other demonologists that will tell you different. Hold on, Jack. Let me just go and stick this light on because it's getting really dark.
Yeah, it's no problem. Yeah. It's weird doing a show when the clocks change because all of a sudden you can't get the lighting right because everything's just too bright, isn't it?
Oh, look at that. There we go. Yeah, so it's 9. From what I've read and what I know, there's 9 monsters or lower levels to 1 legion, and then each one of them legions can have a controlling demon, so that could be 10. I mean, Ben will probably pop on at some point and tell me I'm wrong, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's not around at the moment, so we're getting away with it. He's
probably been banned again.
Oh yeah, he likes getting banned, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's always getting banned, that boy, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I think it's probably the word demon, does it?
Yeah. I'm quite politically correct when it comes to that sort of thing. That's why I don't get banned.
Yeah, you've got to be careful. You can't seem to do much now, can you?
No, you can't.
No, a friend's just been banned for just making a joke, and they obviously didn't get it as a joke.
Yeah, didn't someone get banned from the Loonies for saying something really random about cake or something?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I was on that one, and yeah, that was random. Yeah,
Yeah.
and my friend said something similar.
Just
Just a joke,
crazy.
you know.
The whole
I
world's gone
think,
politically correct mad. That's what it is.
yeah, it is mad, isn't it? So
Mm.
the demons, then, you've got love. I work in love and light, and you've got
Mm.
things around you. So the demons interspersed with everything. How does it work?
Um, it's I don't know. It's just you have to understand the principles of there are laws that you have to stick to. Like you can't help someone unless they ask. A demon will not start the form of oppression until it's been invited. There's loads and loads of laws when it comes to demons and stuff like that as well, and you have to stick within them laws. I mean, working in love and light, it sounds fantastic, but it's just not me. I'd rather work in the dark with a torch.
Yeah, that's it.
That's always been my way. I've always been so. I've just been so attracted to these whole demon things. Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's always Nest that gets everyone in trouble, isn't it?
I know, how mad. And my friend said something similar. It was just a joke, and oops,
Yeah, it's just mad.
3-day ban.
It's just mad how it works.
Yeah, you just have to put like asterisks or hyphens everywhere, don't you? Or spell things wrong deliberately now.
Yeah, exactly. Who
Oh,
makes
is it?
the
I got
laws?
another good question
Oh.
here from Jane. So,
James is getting a free demonology lesson. That's what she did.
yeah, who makes the laws for demonology? The church?
No, not the church. No, 100%. I'm not going to talk about the church because I'm getting banned. But yeah, the laws have just always been there. It's almost like the laws of physics or the laws of nuclear science and stuff. They're just there. There's no one that makes it. It was just discovered, and they're just there. It's just something that's always been followed. There's no other
Yeah,
way to describe it. It's just that's just the way it works. The laws are just there. You stick by them. It's like we have loads of laws in this country that make no sense. Like you're not allowed to kill a swan.
yeah.
It doesn't make sense, but you just stick to that law because it is the law.
You can
That.
take a dog. You can take a dog to a polling station.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So yeah, you've got these crazy ones, haven't you? I'm
Yeah.
just trying to find this one then. Oh dear, my mouse has gone a bit dodgy. So is the council higher than the legions?
There's two type of legion. There is the legions that are controlled by the higher demons. Like I said, there's 9 of each plus 1. And then you have what's called Legion, which is a group of 7 demons. In the famous case of, I think it was Annalise Michelle, Emily Rose, she was controlled by Legion. But technically, the council are higher than the legions. Yeah, the council normally consists of you have a council of element, you have a council of direction. So you'd have in that council, you'll have the higher demon controlling water, a higher demon controlling fire, earth, and wind, and then in the direction ones, yeah, no, I know that, It's
Yeah, it's all right.
it's like I'm saying, it's you don't break away from that. You're not going to go out there and go, oh, I'm going to kill a swan. You just don't do it. It's
Yeah,
one of the
that's
things.
it. I get you
But
totally.
yeah, the council is higher than the legions. And then above the council, you have the commissioner, and then you have the heads, and then you go up to like people like Azelroth and Balior and Baal, and there's the hierarchies are probably the highest thing to nail down because they've changed so much over time. It's the same.
Mm.
It's the same with the angelic hierarchies as well. Because people say, you're a demonologist. You only work with demons. No, I work with angels as well. I study the angel hierarchy as well, and I study things about angels because you can't have push without pull. You can't have yin without yang. I have to learn about both sides of things to have an equal balance in my life.
Yeah.
So I learned about, the angel hierarchy. We've got Gabriel at the top, and then Raphael and Azariel and Ezekiel. You learn about all these things as well as the darkness. You work in the light at the same time as well.
Wow. It's a brilliant subject. It really is. I don't know if I want to go down the route, but I think I might find that book that you mentioned.
Yeah, no, it's
good. Who wrote the rules, and how do you know they're right?
Who wrote them? Ben Winfield wrote them, and they're right because he said so. No, it's not. It's never been written down. There's sort of unwritten rules, and it's tried and practice over time. People that have worked to try and get rid of demonic entities out of people that have not been invited have had bad things happen to them. It's done over time through practice. You learn the laws through practice and what you do. It's like no one has ever written down the laws for protection, and everyone protects themselves differently when they go out on investigation. But we all know that we have to do it. So it's like an unwritten law. It's practice over time. That's basically the answer to that one.
Do you think like people who are bad can be influenced by demons?
I think it's the demons that make them bad. I don't get me wrong. I think there's good and bad people in the world. I think there's people that are very twisted and extremely dark, but I also think there are normal people that are turned to that dark side through the demons, through the oppression and possession stage. They're turned to that darker side. Like Ronnie DeFeo, the guy from Amityville.
Yeah.
He had a perfect record. He was a good kid. He's a good kid. Stole a bit of money now and again, the normal teenager stuff. And then one night he decided to get up and shoot his family. I think that demons have a massive influence, especially if they've got to that possession stage and they've got control. They're a massive factor on making somebody dark. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying demons are to blame for everything. There are that have no possession at all. They're just born that way, I suppose. I think
I seem to attract them now on investigations, and I don't know why. Hey.
So some people attract negative entities. I was just actually talking about. I was just watching a program on Amazon with my partner, and it's called Psychic Children. And this little 7-year-old actually picked himself as a negative entity specialist at the age of 7. It's like, wow, like that's crazy. But what are you going to do when you hit 12? Because don't forget, all children are clairvoyant to the age of 12, and then you don't know whether the gift is going to carry on or not.
Wow.
So
that's amazing, isn't it? So, Yvonne, what do you think demons were previously? Fallen angels or previous guardian angels?
Demons before. Well, it depends. If you look at it from the Catholic Christian, Judeo sort of point of view, they are fallen angels. They were. Lucifer was the most beautiful angel in heaven, wasn't he? And he was cast down because he believed that he was better than God. And then he took loads of demons to fight the angels, and you had the whole sort of war of the heavens and that. If you look at from different points of view, like I said, the Gnostics' point of view, demons were ancient beings, endless beings, beings that had a higher intelligence than we had. And I think it was, I have to check, but I think it was it Satan or was it Belial that actually created humans from his rib bone? Because there's a whole alternative story of Adam and Eve, isn't there?
Yeah.
Adam and Eve, it was actually Adam and Sophia were created first. And God wanted Adam to be the man and the woman to be subservient to the man. Oh, Lilith, that was her name, Lilith. That was the other name for Sophia, Lilith. And I told you it'll come to me later. So Adam, he created Adam and Lilith, and he wanted Lilith to be subservient to Adam. But she wasn't, because she was an independent woman, She was a bit of Beyonce. She was like, you ain't doing this. And she went to the dark side and left him there. So, see, I told you, Lilith.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. she went off and done all the whole thing on the dark side, and then Adam created Eve from his rib bone, and that is what made her subservient to him, because he created her, and that's what made Adam subservient to God, because God created him, and that's that whole story of that, and that's why we get this old age-old story, a woman's place in the kitchen, that sort of thing. I don't believe in that personally. I think we live in the 21st century now, and everyone's made equal, no matter what. So
Yeah, things have moved on, haven't they?
yeah, they have moved on. I mean,
Definitely.
I'm well under the thumb in my relationship, and I'm happy to say it. So it's fine.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, happy wife, happy life. You know how it goes.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I love that.
Yeah.
So, Jane, are there only the old set of demons? How were new demons created?
She has to be specific when she means new demons, because there are no such thing. For instance, she's probably going to mention Zozo. Zozo's not a new demon. Zozo is actually Kamazos, which is a Babylonian demon, also known as the Death Bat. There's a mask up in the Cairo Museum of the Death Bat, and his actual name is Kamazos. It's just shortened down to Zozo because it's easier for him to spell on the board, I suppose.
Yeah. So, do you ever think Zozo comes through on a board?
No.
It's
No, I
just people
think
messing.
99.9% of Zozo Ouija boards are what we in our line of work call mimics. These are lower level demons pretending to be something they're not.
I've actually got my board just that way. I know. You can't see it now because it's dark. I've got my board up there.
Well, I mean, Jane, you have to be a bit specific when you talk about new demons. Like I said, I think demons go through different trends. Like I said, when Conjuring 2 come out, everyone was talking about Valak. When the first one come out, there was so many hauntings being reported of Bathsheba. I think they're all old demons, but just get portrayed in a new light. Well, that looks like a big one.
Yeah. Let's have a look at this one then.
Yeah.
Hi, Zoe Barons. Thanks for joining us. So, Zoe, my old flat had a strange presence. Somebody used to come and sit down on my sofa at 3:30 every night. Got in and felt like I was being isolated from everyone since I was there. Used to say out loud my protective prayer to warn it off for a while. Had my picture taken and been looking out my window, and behind me was a taller, jet black figure shadow person. Have I got an attachment? I'm a spiritualist, so quite open.
Attachment, yeah, more than likely, possibly. I think that people don't distinguish the difference between attachment and possession, or attachment and oppression. An attachment is just obviously when a spirit takes a liking to you, or you invite it to be part of your energy. It's very different to the realms of oppression and possession, where the goal of the demonic entity or the negative entity is to take control of your body and your soul. The age-old story of the soul collectors, they're the ones that we picture as the Grim Reaper. They're the soul collectors. So yeah, it is possible. I would say it's possible. Yeah, without getting into more detail of phenomena that's happened to you before, to see if it's focused around you or if it's just phenomena that's happening in the flat. Without saying that, I can't say 100%.
Yeah, it's certainly a difficult one to call, isn't it? Really, on the information, you need to know more.
Yeah,
It could also be an ancestor.
could be. It could
Spirit
be, or
guide.
a guardian angel, or a guide.
Yeah.
Could be a
So
guide.
it's not necessarily anything to be scared of, but
No.
it's something. Are they still with you? Have they gone now? But
What they
yeah,
have to also bear in mind as well is that when you're working with spirit, there has to be trust between you and the spirit you're communicating with. Otherwise, they will show themselves as a shadow figure. They will show themselves without any sort of standout features. If that's your guide, say for instance that's your guide that you're working with, you still obviously haven't developed the trust between you and the spirit. I mean, Zoe, if you need some more help, just head over to me and chuck me a message, and I'll have a chat with you about it. I've got a list as long as my arm of people waiting to tell me their experiences, but I'll make exception, and we'll have a chat.
Oh, bless you. That's
Yeah,
brilliant of you. Yeah. So if if you just contact Damon and then
yeah, we'll
see
get
if you can
sorted.
help. But just because you've got something around you, it doesn't mean it's dark. And
No,
I think sometimes it might have more power because you don't actually know what it is or who it is.
100%.
And
And you know as well, working with the spirituality sort of thing, that 90% of the time it's not negative. It's just a matter of not knowing, and that's what scares people.
that's right. Yeah, that is the whole thing, isn't it? You don't know what you're sort of dealing with, and
Mm.
you might get an image of something being really heavy and nasty, but then when you find out more about it, you think, oh, why was I bothered about that? So
Yeah,
you just
100%.
don't really know, do you?
No, you
So
don't.
we've got a quick shout out to hi Carolyn May Sandbrooks, thanks for joining us. Von Hunter, his possession from the lower or the higher level demon.
It can be from both. I think the only thing that fluctuates between the lower and the higher the demon is the strength of the phenomena that happens. You'll find during the oppression stage, because there's 3 stages to demonic phenomena. Infestation, that's when things are happening around the house, the bangs, the crashes, the strong winds, the presence. But it's not focused around anybody. It's more around the house or in a certain quite a big area. Then you get to the second stage, which is oppression. That's when it starts focusing on its main target. That's when the phenomena will happen around you, and it would be more focused on you. So the 3 bangs will be near you. You will be the one being scratched. You'll be the one smelling the sulfur. You'll be the one who's having their hair pulled or their feet pulled of a night time. It's more focused on you. And then you have the third stage, which is possession.
Right, and that's where the internet cuts out, which is really quite odd, really, isn't it? So that's an interesting insight from Damon, and
Oh, there we go. I'm back.
as you mentioned, possession, it just cuts out.
Oh,
So
that's
that was
weird,
the
isn't it?
demon.
That's weird.
That's
That's
just
really
too funny,
crazy.
isn't it?
Oh God.
So whether that was some like something
Uh,
influencing or
I need an old priest and a young priest.
it's just too funny that
Yeah.
was it.
Oh, Zoe, you
Okay.
know what? The best person to talk to about that is people like Jack, who's on the show. Um, she knows a lot of people that can help you with that. Am I right,
Yeah.
Jack?
What I did, I went down a development route.
Mm.
There are online workshops. There are mediums who offer it. I don't know if you're in the UK, if you're overseas, or where you're actually located. But can have a chat afterwards if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can have development lessons. Some are by Zoom as well, and you can sort of learn how to sort of control it and like work with it really.
And you get to go on holiday without a COVID passport vaccine, because when you do your meditations, you get to go wherever you want to go.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
Yeah,
brilliant.
meditations and guided meditations are brilliant. Jane
Yeah.
Rowley's a brilliant medium as well, so Jane knows a lot about
Oh
it.
yeah, Jane's top. Jane's well good.
Yeah, if you want to sort of PM us, Zoe, and then I'll we'll find out where you are, and
Yeah. Yeah, Zoe, speak to Jack and speak to Jane, because I'm sure Jane's probably top 3 in my books in this country. Top 3.
Jane, Jane is fantastic
Amazing.
medium. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah,
She's probably sitting there now in her head's going
yeah, and very knowledgeable as well. So read up and everything. Yeah. So we've got time for one more really difficult question here, Jane. Oh, this has been brilliant because I don't know anything about demonology. Can't even say the word now, but there you go.
It's a
But
fascinating subject. It's a fascinating subject. I've been gripped now for 9 years, and do you know what? I'm still learning, and every day is a school day. You learn something new, and people don't realize how much it affects all of our lives as well.
yeah, it does. You can get like spirit like interacting and affecting your
Yeah,
lives anyway, let alone demons and
yeah. Well, not so much the
demons.
demons. It's the legacy they leave behind. It's the stories. You know, we have stories of like the Nephilim, and you have stories about the Masons, and that all ties into demonology and occultology, and stories of Aleister
Oh,
Crowley
okay.
and stuff. You know, he summoned Lamb, and then Lamb looks like a grey, so that's an aliens, and that's tying into alien stuff. You don't realize it all sort of grows into one.
Yeah, because the aliens, you don't know like if things are paranormal or if they're alien, do you?
No,
In some
no,
ways, you know,
they're all
you just
they're
know
all
there's something which can't be explained.
no, and they're all higher level intelligences. That's the best way to look at it. They're all higher level intelligences.
So, do you think demonology is a growing trend? As a lot of people seem to be demonologists in the paranormal.
I think it's a label that a lot of people use to install that sort of fear and that not knowing, that sort of interest. I mean, you can always tell a true demonologist from somebody who's faking it, because the true demonologist will turn up with a cross and some garlic, holy water, and probably, the stuff you see from The Exorcist, where if you was to invite me to your investigation, I would probably turn up in a tracksuit and a pair of Nike trainers, um, with my phone, and that's probably about it. And Ben will probably turn up on his motorbike with a leather jacket on. That's the
Yeah,
difference.
he did.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's how you know when. I mean, it is. I see a lot of demonologists about, but whether they're true, you also got two types, and you got demonologists that sort of concentrate on the religion side of things, and then you got lay demonologists that sort of concentrate on things that are not religious, and then you got people like me that sort of hybrid between the two.
Oh wow, that's cool. And then you've got the ones who've done one exam
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
experts.
They paid the bargain price of 34.99
Yeah.
online and passed it. I sat one of them, right? This is God's honest truth. I sat one of them, and when I sat it said it takes 28 days to pass it, right? I done it in 15 minutes.
Oh bless you. There you go. Then may the power of Christ compel your tracksuit.
She's a legend, isn't she?
Oh bless you, Justin. Thanks for joining us.
I
Well,
know, yeah. He's talking about the Constantine movie. The demon that he pulls out of the mirror at the beginning is actually a monster.
oh wow, £6. That's a bargain. My God.
Woo!
Did you get a certificate for that as well? Or did you have to
What?
pay an extra tenner to get it printed?
I paid 34 quid for 15 minutes of information. I felt well cheated.
Yeah, I'm doing internet course in parapsychology. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of took me 2 years because it's not worth the paper it's written on. But
Nah.
you do learn some you do learn some sort of interesting facts as well. It's just
Oh,
don't
they
know
made
really.
they made you print yours off yourself, Jane. That's out of order. I see. I got mine sent through the post.
Oh bless you. That's funny.
Honestly, it's crazy what they will do now just to make money out there. It's absolutely crazy. I find it just it's disturbing. It's a little bit disturbing, but at the
Yeah,
same time, everyone's got to make money.
yeah. And
You know,
people ought to take it with a pinch of salt, really. But
yeah,
unfortunately, people don't, do they?
yeah. I mean, it's crazy times at the moment, but yeah, like I mean, I've I'm trying to study. I want to become a doctor in demonology, but it's very hard to find and do. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, that's awesome. Right, okay, thanks for joining us, everyone. We're going to finish now. I'm not sure if there's another show on, but if you look on the HAPRC live channel or this one,
Mhm.
and I'm not sure. So we've got to leave it there. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I've certainly learned some mind-blowing stuff because I didn't know anything about demonology whatsoever. I still can't say the damn word. But yeah, thanks, Damon. Any last words?
Yeah, don't forget to check out on Friday on the show. I've got one of your guests, Jacqueline. I've got Dr. Cal Cooper on the show.
Oh wow, awesome! I want to watch that.
Yeah,
Cal is so fantastic.
He's brilliant. He's brilliant.
And if you lead him down the I nearly said demonologist route, then oh my god, yeah,
He's gonna be mad.
I'll watch that one. Okay, take care, everyone. Look after
See you later.
yourselves, and goodbye.
Bye.